Do you ever find yourself doubting your abilities or second-guessing your worth? What if I told you that hidden, everyday habits might be silently chipping away at your confidence? These aren't the obvious mistakes we notice. These are subtle actions and patterns that quietly erode your self-esteem over time. Buddha said, "You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." Yet so many of us unknowingly sabotage our confidence by adopting behaviors that pull us away from this self-love. Confidence isn't built in a day, but it can be eroded gradually by things we barely recognize. The good news is, once you spot these mistakes, you can begin to reverse their impact and reclaim your inner strength. In this video, we're going to uncover 10 mistakes that might be destroying your confidence without you realizing it. From comparing yourself to others to ignoring your achievements, these hidden traps are more common than you think, but they're also entirely fixable. Stay with me until the end, where I'll share practical tips to replace these habits with ones that build lasting self-esteem. Now let me ask you, have you ever wondered why your confidence wavers, even when everything seems fine on the surface? What's one habit you think might be holding you back? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experiences. If you're ready to reclaim your confidence and eliminate these silent confidence killers, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more life-changing wisdom. Let's dive in and discover how to break free from these mistakes and step into your boldest, most confident self. Mistake 1. Comparing yourself to others constantly. Do you catch yourself scrolling through social media or observing others' successes and feeling like you don't measure up? Comparing yourself to others is one of the quickest ways to erode your confidence. It's a subtle but powerful habit that shifts your focus away from your own progress and achievements, making you feel inadequate in the process. Buddha said, "Do not overrate what you have received, nor envy others. He who envies others does not obtain peace of mind." This wisdom reminds us that everyone's journey is unique, and comparisons only lead to dissatisfaction and a distorted sense of self-worth. Why this mistake destroys confidence. Focuses on your perceived shortcomings. Constant comparison highlights what you think you lack, rather than what you have. Creates unrealistic standards. Social media and public personas often present a filtered, idealized version of life, making it impossible to live up to. Distracts from your progress. Comparing yourself to others diverts your attention from your own growth and accomplishments. How to fix it? Shift your focus inward. When you catch yourself comparing, pause and reflect on your own journey. Ask yourself, what have I achieved so far? What am I proud of today? Limit exposure to comparison triggers. Take breaks from social media or unfollow accounts that make you feel inadequate. Surround yourself with content and people who inspire you instead of triggering envy. Celebrate your uniqueness. Remind yourself that your path is unlike anyone else's. Write down 3 qualities or accomplishments that make you proud. Practice gratitude. Reflect on what you have and the progress you've made, no matter how small. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Why this matters. Comparing yourself to others not only diminishes your confidence, but also blinds you to your own strengths and achievements. By focusing on your unique journey and celebrating your progress, you reclaim your sense of self-worth and find joy in your personal growth. Start today. The next time you catch yourself comparing, stop and write down one thing you've achieved or are proud of. Repeat this practice until you naturally begin to focus on your progress rather than others' lives. With time, you'll find that your confidence grows when it's rooted in self-acceptance and gratitude. Mistake 2. Negative self-talk. Do you ever catch yourself saying things like, "I can't do this," or I'm not good enough. Negative self-talk is one of the most harmful habits that destroys confidence without you even realizing it. The words and thoughts you direct toward yourself shape your self-esteem, and when they're overly critical or unkind, they chip away at your sense of worth. Buddha said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." If you constantly feed your mind with negativity, you'll start to believe it. Your inner dialogue has the power to either build you up or tear you down, and unchecked negative self-talk can become a silent enemy to your confidence. Why this mistake destroys confidence, reinforces self-doubt. Constant criticism creates a belief that you're incapable or undeserving, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Negative thoughts influence your actions, leading to behaviors that align with those doubts. Creates unnecessary stress. Harsh inner dialogue makes you feel pressured and overwhelmed, eroding your self-belief. How to fix it? Recognize your negative patterns. Pay attention to the phrases or thoughts you repeat to yourself. Ask, would I say this to a friend? If not, it's time to reframe it. Practice self-compassion. Replace negative thoughts with kinder, more supportive ones. For example, instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," say, "I'm still learning, and that's okay." Use affirmations. Write down and repeat positive affirmations daily, such as, "I am capable and worthy. I am stronger than I think." Challenge limiting beliefs. When a negative thought arises, ask yourself if it's really true. Find evidence that disproves it. For instance, if you think, "I always fail," remind yourself of past successes. Why this matters? Negative self-talk is a habit that often goes unnoticed, but has profound effects on your confidence. By transforming your inner dialogue into one that's kind and constructive, you begin to rebuild your self-esteem and unlock your full potential. Start today. Take a moment to write down a negative thought you've had recently. Then, rewrite it in a way that's positive and supportive. Repeat the new phrase to yourself whenever the negative thought arises. Over time, this practice will help you cultivate a more confident and empowering mindset. Mistake 3. Avoiding challenges. Do you shy away from taking on new opportunities or challenges because you fear failure? Avoiding challenges might feel like a way to protect yourself in the short term, but in reality, it's a confidence killer. Each time you dodge a challenge, you reinforce self-doubt and miss out on opportunities to grow and prove your abilities to yourself. Buddha said, "The trouble is, you think you have time." This wisdom reminds us that waiting for the perfect moment or avoiding challenges only delays personal growth. Confidence isn't built by staying in your comfort zone. It grows when you face difficulties and discover what you're truly capable of. Why this mistake destroys confidence, prevents growth. Challenges push you to develop new skills and overcome limitations, but avoiding them keeps you stuck. Feeds fear of failure. The more you avoid challenges, the more intimidating they seem, creating a cycle of fear and inaction. Erodes self-trust. Constant avoidance signals to yourself that you don't believe in your own ability to handle difficulties. How to fix it? Start with small challenges. Build momentum by taking on manageable tasks that push you slightly out of your comfort zone, like speaking up in a meeting or trying a new hobby. Reframe failure as learning. Shift your perspective by viewing setbacks as opportunities for growth instead of as personal shortcomings. Ask, what can I learn from this experience? Break challenges into steps. If a task feels overwhelming, divide it into smaller, actionable steps. Tackle each step one at a time. Celebrate your efforts. Focus on the courage it takes to try, regardless of the outcome. Each attempt strengthens your resilience and self-belief. Why this matters? Avoiding challenges keeps you in a cycle of stagnation and self-doubt. By facing difficulties, you prove to yourself that you're capable of growth and success, which builds a strong foundation for lasting confidence. Start today. Identify one challenge you've been avoiding, whether it's having a difficult conversation, learning a new skill, or taking on a project. Take a small step toward tackling it, and remind yourself that progress is more important than perfection. With each challenge you face, your confidence will grow, and so will your belief in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Mistake 4. Seeking validation from others. Do you find yourself constantly looking for approval before feeling good about your decisions, actions, or even your appearance? Seeking validation from others is a subtle yet destructive habit that erodes your confidence. When you rely on external affirmation to feel worthy, you give away your power and tie your self-esteem to factors outside your control. Buddha said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." This wisdom emphasizes the importance of finding confidence and fulfillment from within, rather than depending on the opinions of others. When your sense of self-worth is rooted in external validation, it becomes fragile and easily shaken. Why this mistake destroys confidence, weakens self-trust. Constantly seeking validation signals that you don't trust your own judgment, creates dependency. Relying on others for affirmation makes your confidence vulnerable to their approval, or lack of it. Prevents authenticity. Seeking validation may lead you to make choices that please others, but don't align with your true self. How to fix it? Validate yourself first. Before seeking input from others, ask yourself, what do I think about this? Does this choice align with my values and goals? Celebrate internal wins. Recognize and affirm your accomplishments, even if no one else does. For example, acknowledge yourself for completing a task or making a tough decision. Limit validation-seeking behaviors. Challenge yourself to make decisions or take actions without asking for reassurance. Start with small, low-risk choices and gradually build up to bigger ones. Build self-reliance through affirmations. Repeat affirmations that reinforce your self-worth, such as, "I trust my decisions. I am enough as I am." Why this matters? Confidence built on external validation is fleeting and unreliable. By learning to validate yourself, you create a steady and unshakable foundation of self-esteem. You'll feel more authentic, resilient, and empowered to live life on your own terms. Start today. Reflect on a recent situation where you sought validation. Ask yourself, what would I have done if I didn't need anyone else's approval? Use this insight to take one small step towards self-reliance. Over time, this practice will help you shift your focus inward, strengthening your confidence and independence. Mistake 5. Focusing on past mistakes. Do you often replay your past failures or mistakes in your mind, wishing you could go back and change things? Dwelling on the past can feel like self-reflection, but it's actually a subtle way of eroding your confidence. When you constantly focus on what went wrong, you start to believe that those missteps define who you are, leaving little room for growth or self-forgiveness. Buddha said, "Each morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most." This wisdom reminds us that the past does not determine our future. Every moment is an opportunity to start anew, but holding on to past mistakes chains you to regret and prevents you from moving forward with confidence. Why this mistake destroys confidence, creates a negative self-image. Focusing on past failures reinforces the belief that you're incapable or flawed, prevents growth. Dwelling on mistakes keeps you stuck in the past instead of learning from them and progressing. Erodes self-forgiveness. Constantly revisiting mistakes makes it harder to let go and accept yourself. How to fix it? Shift your perspective on failure. View mistakes as learning opportunities rather than permanent shortcomings. Ask yourself, what did this experience teach me? How can I apply this lesson moving forward? Practice self-compassion. Remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes. It's part of being human. Speak to yourself with kindness and understanding. Set future-focused goals. Use your energy to focus on what you can achieve next, rather than what you could have done differently. Journal for closure. Write down your thoughts about a past mistake, what you learned from it, and how you plan to move on. Then, symbolically let it go. Tear up the page, burn it, or file it away. Why this matters? Your mistakes are part of your journey, but they don't define you. By letting go of past missteps, you create space to grow, learn, and build a more confident and empowered version of yourself. Start today. Think about a mistake you've been dwelling on. Write down 3 lessons you've learned from it and 1 action you can take today to move forward. Remember, your ability to grow and improve is far more important than any single mistake. Let go of the past and watch your confidence flourish. Mistake 6. Not setting boundaries. Do you find it hard to say no, even when it means sacrificing your time, energy, or well-being? Not setting boundaries is a mistake that quietly destroys your confidence by making you feel overextended, undervalued, and out of control. When you constantly put others' needs ahead of your own, you send yourself a message that your priorities and feelings don't matter. Buddha said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." This teaching highlights the importance of valuing yourself enough to set limits. Without boundaries, you may feel drained and resentful, which undermines your confidence and self-worth. Why this mistake destroys confidence, leads to burnout. Overcommitting leaves you with little time or energy to focus on your goals or self-care. Weakens self-respect. Allowing others to dictate your time and energy sends a message to yourself that your needs are less important. Creates resentment. Overextending yourself can lead to frustration with others and yourself, further damaging your self-esteem. How to fix it? Identify your limits. Reflect on situations where you've felt overcommitted or taken advantage of. Ask yourself, what am I willing and able to do? What am I not comfortable with? Practice saying no. Start small by politely declining a minor request that conflicts with your priorities. Use phrases like, "I can't commit to that right now. Thank you for thinking of me, but I need to focus on other things." Communicate clearly and assertively. When setting boundaries, express your needs respectfully but firmly. For example, "I need to finish this project before taking on anything else." Prioritize self-care. Dedicate time to activities that replenish your energy and reinforce your sense of self-worth. Why this matters? Setting boundaries is an essential act of self-respect. It allows you to take control of your time and energy, fostering confidence and reinforcing your sense of worth. Boundaries not only protect you, they empower you to give your best self to others without compromising your own needs. Start today. Identify one situation where you felt overextended or taken for granted. Practice setting a small, clear boundary in that area and notice how it makes you feel. Over time, creating boundaries will strengthen your confidence, helping you honor your own value and maintain balance in your life. Mistake 7. Overthinking decisions. Do you find yourself going back and forth on choices, agonizing over every possible outcome? Overthinking decisions is a subtle yet destructive habit that undermines your confidence. The more you overanalyze, the more uncertain and hesitant you become, leaving you feeling stuck and unable to trust your own judgment. Buddha said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." When your mind is consumed with doubt and second-guessing, you create a pattern of indecision that weakens your ability to act with clarity and confidence. Overthinking not only delays progress, but also erodes your belief in your ability to make good decisions. Why this mistake destroys confidence, creates self-doubt. Constantly second-guessing your choices makes you question your own instincts, leads to inaction. Overthinking often results in paralysis, where you avoid making decisions altogether for fear of making the wrong one. Erodes trust in yourself. Overanalyzing sends a message that you don't believe in your ability to handle outcomes, good or bad. How to fix it? Set a decision deadline. Give yourself a specific amount of time to weigh your options and then commit to making a choice by that deadline. Limit your options. Narrow down your choices to 2 or 3 viable ones to avoid becoming overwhelmed. Trust your instincts. Remind yourself that there's rarely a perfect decision. Instead of aiming for perfection, focus on making the best choice with the information you have. Learn to embrace outcomes. Recognize that every decision, whether it leads to success or failure, is an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Practice small, quick decisions. Start with low-stakes choices, like deciding what to eat or what to wear. Building confidence in smaller decisions helps you tackle bigger ones with ease. Why this matters? Overthinking not only slows you down, but also convinces you that you're incapable of making sound decisions. By learning to trust yourself and act decisively, you strengthen your confidence and reclaim control over your life. Start today. Think about a decision you've been overanalyzing. Set a timer for 10 minutes, review your options, and make a choice before the timer ends. Remind yourself that action is better than perfection. With practice, you'll build the confidence to trust your judgment and move forward boldly. Mistake 8. Ignoring your accomplishments. Do you downplay your achievements or focus more on what you haven't done than what you've accomplished? Ignoring your successes, no matter how small, is a mistake that slowly erodes your confidence. When you fail to recognize your progress, you deny yourself the encouragement and motivation that comes from celebrating your efforts. Buddha said, "You are what you think. All that you are arises from your thoughts. With your thoughts, you make the world." If your thoughts constantly minimize your accomplishments, you'll struggle to see yourself as capable or worthy. Acknowledging and celebrating your achievements builds a positive self-image and reinforces your confidence. Why this mistake destroys confidence? Reinforces feelings of inadequacy. Overlooking your successes makes you feel like you're never good enough, even when you've achieved a lot. Prevents self-motivation. Without acknowledging your progress, it's harder to stay motivated to pursue future goals. Feeds imposter syndrome. Ignoring accomplishments fuels the belief that your successes are undeserved or insignificant. How to fix it? Create a success journal. Write down 3 achievements at the end of each day, no matter how small. Reflecting on these will help you internalize your progress. Celebrate milestones. Take the time to celebrate your victories, whether it's completing a project, learning a new skill, or even sticking to a small habit. Reward yourself with something meaningful. Share your successes. Talk about your accomplishments with trusted friends or family who can help you recognize and appreciate your efforts. Reframe your mindset. Instead of focusing on what you haven't done, shift your attention to what you've achieved and what you're working toward. Why this matters? Ignoring your accomplishments creates a cycle of negativity that undermines your confidence. By celebrating your successes, you build a strong foundation of self-belief and motivation, empowering you to take on greater challenges with confidence. Start today. Take a few moments to list 3 things you've achieved this week, no matter how small. Reflect on how these accomplishments make you feel and what they say about your strengths. Make this a regular practice to build a habit of recognizing your progress and boosting your confidence. Mistake 9. Comparing your starting point to someone else's success. Do you often look at someone else's accomplishments and feel like you're falling short? Comparing your beginning to someone else's peak is an unfair and destructive habit that can quietly chip away at your confidence. Everyone's journey is different, and focusing on others' success rather than your own progress keeps you trapped in feelings of inadequacy. Buddha said, "There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path." This wisdom teaches us that our fulfillment lies in embracing our own journey rather than measuring it against others. Comparing yourself to someone who is further along ignores the hard work, setbacks, and time they've invested to get there, and it blinds you to the potential within your own path. Why this mistake destroys confidence, creates unrealistic expectations. Comparing yourself to someone else's success sets unattainable standards, leading to frustration and self-doubt. Shifts focus away from your progress. Instead of celebrating your growth, you fixate on where you think you should be. Breeds envy and discouragement. Constant comparison can make you feel stuck, even when you've made meaningful strides in your own life. How to fix it? Focus on your unique journey. Remind yourself that everyone's path is different. Reflect on your personal goals and values rather than adopting someone else's timeline. Track your own progress. Keep a journal or list of milestones you've reached, no matter how small. Celebrate these moments as evidence of your growth. Limit comparison triggers. Avoid situations or social media content that lead to unhelpful comparisons. Instead, seek inspiration from others' journeys without devaluing your own. Reframe comparisons. If you find yourself admiring someone's success, ask, "What can I learn from their journey? How can I apply this inspiration to my own path?" Why this matters. Comparing your starting point to someone else's success keeps you stuck in self-doubt and frustration. By focusing on your progress and embracing your unique path, you build confidence in your ability to grow at your own pace. Start today. Reflect on an area where you've been comparing yourself to someone else. Write down 3 things you've achieved in this area and remind yourself that growth is a personal journey, not a race. Over time, this shift in mindset will help you celebrate your progress and feel confident in your path. Mistake 10. Not taking care of yourself. Do you often put your needs last, neglecting your physical, mental, or emotional well-being? Failing to take care of yourself is a mistake that quietly eats away at your confidence. When you neglect self-care, you send yourself a subconscious message that you don't value or prioritize your own needs, which can lead to burnout, stress, and a diminished sense of self-worth. Buddha said, "To keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear." This teaching highlights the connection between self-care and overall well-being. Without tending to your needs, it becomes difficult to feel strong, capable, and confident in any aspect of life. Why this mistake destroys confidence, drains your energy. Poor self-care leaves you feeling physically and emotionally depleted, making it harder to face challenges or pursue goals. Lowers self-respect. Neglecting your needs signals that you don't value yourself, eroding your self-esteem over time. Increases stress. Without proper care, stress levels can skyrocket, further undermining your confidence and ability to cope with life's demands. How to fix it? Prioritize your health. Make regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and adequate sleep non-negotiable parts of your routine. Schedule me time. Dedicate time each day or week to do something that brings you joy and relaxation, whether it's reading, meditating, or pursuing a hobby. Practice mindfulness. Spend a few moments each day focusing on your breath and being present in the moment to reduce stress and increase mental clarity. Set boundaries to protect your well-being. Learn to say no to commitments that compromise your self-care and focus on activities that align with your values and priorities. Why this matters? Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's essential. When you invest in your well-being, you build a foundation of strength and self-respect that fuels your confidence and ability to take on life's challenges. Start today. Identify one area of your life where you've been neglecting self-care, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. Take a small step to address it, such as preparing a healthy meal, taking a short walk, or scheduling a moment of quiet reflection. Over time, these small actions will add up, leaving you feeling more energized, valued, and confident. Confidence isn't something you lose overnight. It's often eroded by small, unnoticed habits like the ones we've discussed. From comparing yourself to others to neglecting self-care, these mistakes can quietly chip away at your self-esteem without you even realizing it. The good news is that by identifying and addressing these habits, you can rebuild your confidence and live with greater self-assurance. Buddha's teachings remind us that self-worth comes from within. When you shift your focus to nurturing yourself, embracing your progress, and letting go of destructive patterns, you empower yourself to live boldly and authentically. Now, let me ask you, which of these mistakes resonated with you the most? What's one small step you'll take today to rebuild your confidence? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your journey. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need this message. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom on confidence, mindfulness, and self-growth. Thank you for spending time with me today. Remember, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about embracing your journey and showing up for yourself every day. You've got this, and I'll see you in the next video.